This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Alright, hey everyone, welcome to another Capes and Lunatics special. Once again, it's been a while, I think October of 2017, but finally, I am once again honored to be speaking to Miss Alexandria the Red. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you? How are you
guys? Like I said, we got great fan response last time, and we got a bunch of questions again this time, but I figured, just like last time, we'll jump in once again and ask you what you've been up to, because it's been over a year, so.
Oh my gosh. I think like the last year has just been getting my shit together. Because I just wasn't going to as many cons and stuff and not completing as many cosplays, so like I've really been trying to get back on track with all of that. My husband and I are looking for a house right now, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, that's basically been it, besides taking care of the cats.
Looks like you put like an office there. I mean, last time, I don't know if you were at a different angle, but it looks like there's like more stuff behind you now. And
probably, yeah. I've got like the whole office set up and all of my art on the walls and everything.
It looks like you could have like your own YouTube thing or something. You got the setup back here.
Yeah, I do my Patreon live streams like a little further back. Like I usually do them on my phone, but this is my husband's computer, so we kind of share the office.
Cool. But no, you were saying you didn't go to that as many cons, but didn't you go to WonderCon this weekend?
Yeah, that was this past weekend. WonderCon is always fun because it's my anniversary con. My first one was WonderCon 2012. So, yeah, so it's my first, like, my anniversary con for cosplay conventions. So it's always fun to go.
So, I guess a lot of stuff happening this weekend.
Yeah, the convention was so much fun. I mean, I actually ended up only going Friday and Saturday, but Saturday was sold out, so it was like super crowded. There were tons of people there, like lots of awesome cosplays, which I always love going to see. And I bought a bunch of crap on Friday because I always like supporting like the artists and everything. And some of my favorite artists were actually there, so it was really cool to go by and meet them.
I'm sure there was a lot of Shazam stuff.
Yeah, they the DC booth had the Shazam suit, like one of them at least, the infamous $1 million. I don't know, they've downgraded it to 700,000 or something like that. But the infamous expensive suit was there, and it was very nice looking in person.
Do they have guards on that? Because I know, like, it seems like a lot of these movies, like suits get stolen and stuff.
It was encased in glass, so they would have had a hard time making off with it. And then I think it was also connected to some kind of electrical thing because the lightning bolt was like glowing.
No.
So yeah, you'd have a hard time getting out of there with that thing.
But that's a good segue. Are you going to see Shazam this weekend?
Yeah, I probably will. Maybe not this weekend, but I definitely want to see it just because I love Zachary Levi a lot. I'm not really huge into Shazam in general, but I love Zachary Levi, so that's a good reason to see it.
Because are you a bigger Marvel fan?
I would say that I'm a bigger Marvel fan when it comes to the live action films, but like DC has it on lock when it comes to animated films.
Yes. And do you watch the Arrowverse shows? Those are good.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of those and just like a bunch of like the little shorts that they have like on Netflix and stuff. Like they're pretty, even like the R-rated ones, like I love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are pretty good. I think that like they both do different things well.
Oh yeah. definitely. But I do remember last time you said you were a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm sure you saw Into the Spider-Verse, right?
I did. Finally, we rented it, and it was definitely just as good as everyone said. I was kind of scared because people were like hyping it up a lot. And, you know, after the Oscar, I think it got an Oscar win for Best Animated. Mm-hmm. And after that, I was like, oh no, I think the hype might be too much. I'm scared, but it was fantastic. Like, I really enjoyed it. The animation style was crazy and like so unique. The soundtrack was good. Like all of the voice actors, like having Zoe Kravitz play Spider-Gwen, that was really cool. And like just all the people that were in it that you never would have expected.
Yeah, we saw it in the theater, but I'm so disappointed I didn't see it in 3D because I'm sure that looked beautiful in 3D.
Oh yeah, that would have been really cool. And now that I think about it, because I used to not go to 3D because my husband had glasses, and so he didn't like wearing double glasses, but he's since got LASIK, so actually we can start doing those again. I kind of forgot about that.
But I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Spider-Gwen cosplay in your future.
I don't know. I think that there's so many really good Spider-Gwens out there that I don't need to do it, but Black Cat might be on the horizon. That would be fun.
Yes, Black Cat. It's always good.
We almost got our Felicia, almost. At the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, they said they're doing a bunch of, I think they're doing a sequel, and they might be doing a spin-off or two of Spider-Verse, so she might be in there somewhere.
That would be cool. I wouldn't mind that.
So I think they're giving Gwen her own spin-off, so maybe there, or...
Yeah, she's too popular not to.
Yeah.
I like her, like, random, like, she just kind of has, like, a grab bag of talents. She's like, I'm a ballerina, and I'm in a band. Like... You're just good at everything.
I know. She just didn't. Was she like smart? Was she like? She was keeping up with the science and stuff. I'm like, yeah, she like knows everything.
She's good at everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really liked it. I loved the design and everything, and like just like the way they chose to do all of the. It was like art. It was just like living art. Like it looked fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm so sad I didn't see it in 3D. Did you see Captain Marvel?
Yes, I did. I really liked it. I really didn't know that much about her going into it. So, and I kind of like that. I'd rather go in with like fresh eyes. Mm-hmm. And then I only knew Brie Larson from like Scott Pilgrim back in the day. She played Envy. So it was really interesting to see her in like a totally different role. And I love the 90s nostalgia. That was awesome. Mm-hmm. And then the soundtrack was fantastic. Like, sorry, Guardians, like you no longer have the best soundtrack in the MCU. I'm sorry, but yeah, I really liked it.
Yes, it was very good. And yes, that soundtrack was probably the best.
Like, Just a Girl was perfect. It was so good. I heard like the opening chords and I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah, well, I think I said that during our review. I was like, I can't believe they played that during that big fight scene.
It was so good. I need like a t-shirt with her on it and just a girl with like a mean face on it.
Punching somebody.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I do think that people kind of went into it with like crazy high expectations, but they had to meld like an origin story into this already existing universe and have it make sense among everything else. So they had a tall order, and I think that they delivered.
Oh yeah, just like with a lot of their characters, there's like decades of like history they have to like fold into like a movie or two movies, and I don't know. I try to give them some leeway because I'm like, that's tough, making a cohesive story out of all of that.
Yeah, and I think people are too tough on movies too nowadays. Like, it's either the best thing I've ever seen or it's the worst thing I've ever seen. There's no like in between. Whereas I'm like, if I left the movie feeling entertained, like that's enough for me. That's perfect. Yeah.
Well, I think the MCU is like king of the hill now. So everyone wants to, a lot of these people want to be the first one, if there's a bad movie, to say, I was the first one to say that was a bad movie.
I know, right? I'm like, why are you guys crapping on your own fandom? We're lucky that we even get all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Endgame is coming.
I'm scared.
I'm excited. I can't wait, but it's supposedly it's 3 hours long.
Yeah, but people who are complaining about that never sat through the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, so.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm just, I'll be sitting there, being like, oh, okay, I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm not moving.
There's that one website that tells you, I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a website that tells you the optimum time to take a bathroom break so you don't miss too much plot.
Oh, wow. And there's a couple theaters. I think it might just be New York, LA, maybe Chicago. They're doing a marathon of was it 22 movies?
Oh my God, that would be insane. I marathoned Lord of the Rings before I think The Hobbit came out. Like they played all 3 of the Lord of the Rings before The Hobbit premiere. And that wasn't too bad, but all 22 movies, that is crazy.
I think they said, if Endgame starts Thursday night, it would have to start at like Tuesday morning or something.
So people are just taking a week off work to go.
That's what I'm saying. It's like 2 days, at least 2 days.
You'd have to like tag in and tag out. Like there's no way that you could like stay the entire time.
And you would have to pick like your least favorite movie to sleep through, right?
Or you got to go home and shower at some point.
You would think. And theater food is expensive.
We'll just skip Thor 2 and have that.
That's what I said. Sleep during Thor 2.
Sleep during Thor 2, Iron Man 3, possibly.
Mm-hmm. That's a good call. So, any interesting TV or movies that caught your eye?
Lately I've been rewatching a lot of old series. I just finished Merlin, which I really, really like. I love the BBC shows, and I don't know, it was like such a weird show for me because it started off like kind of comedic and then it got very serious as time went on. So I enjoyed that one. I just finished that up, and then I'm rewatching Gilmore Girls for like the 5th time. But as far as like geeky stuff goes, I've heard a lot of good things about Titans and stuff.
Yeah.
People want me to watch that. And then I need to catch up on all of the stuff on Netflix before it's gone, like the Defender stuff, because I've only seen season 1 of Daredevil. I've only seen season 1 of Jessica Jones. I've seen all of Iron Fist. I still haven't seen Luke Cage. So I have to like do all that stuff before they decide to take it off because of like Disney Plus and everything.
And no pressure, but there's 2 seasons of The Punisher too.
Oh yeah, see, I'm so behind on all that. I just kind of, what I do is I pop around from like genre to genre. So like I'll watch a superhero show and then I'll watch something like a crime drama and then I'll pop into like historical fiction or whatever. So I try to keep it going and not let things get too stale.
I don't know how quickly they're going to take those off because there is at least like I think there's one more season of Jessica Jones coming, and that's going to be the last of them all. But
okay, so I probably have at least a few months or something.
I think so, yeah. Oh, and you're going to be pulling out that Jean Grey cosplay because I think Dark Phoenix comes out in June, I believe.
Yeah, they were having a panel about it at WonderCon, and people were like, "Oh my God, did you hear? Like Sophie Turner's going to be here?" Because I was in my Sansa costume, and I'm like, "I'm not going to like run into her. There's no way that she'll like just spot me and be like, oh, you're dressed as Sansa.'" I'll be like, "No." And I was like, "Gosh, I wonder how many questions during the Dark Phoenix panel were about Game of Thrones, or like, can you keep it on topic, please?"
Oh, and then, what is it? Oh, think of the first week of July, we're getting another Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I'm really excited because New York is cool and all, but I'm really tired of seeing movies set in New York. So having like this whole thing be like his European vacation, like I think that's really cool. Oh,
yeah. The Mysterio.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. That's an interesting choice because he's pretty much stayed away from like the fantasy genre since Prince of Persia. Yeah,
and then someone was telling me it's really funny that he's in there because I think, what was it, Spider-Man 3 maybe? Like they weren't sure if Tobey Maguire was coming back. He might have even hurt his back or something. And they were talking about having Jake Gyllenhaal replace him as Spider-Man.
I guess I could probably see that. Like they look similar and they're the same age pretty much. Mm-hmm. And I'd say they're in the same vein, like acting wise. Like they did a lot of similar projects in like the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, that would be funny if they got Tobey Maguire for a villain.
I still think that TV's The Flash. Like, I still think he would have been a great Peter Parker.
Yes.
Yeah. He's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, Grant Gustin, he is good.
Yes, there you go, Grant Gustin. Yeah, I still wish they'd kept him for like the film Flash because I'm like, You guys already have a dedicated fan base. Like, it would have been really cool if they had, kind of brought that up to the film because now it's, I don't know, the DC universe seems kind of disjointed now.
Yeah, because I think they should kill a bunch of those actors, because those crossovers they do every year with all those TV shows, I like those better than a lot of those DC movies even.
If they had just brought in TV's Green Arrow and TV's Flash, like that would have been amazing. Like, because I mean, Aquaman did pretty well. Like, I enjoyed Aquaman; it was good, like good standalone film, and it just felt weird trying to like smash all these origin stories into such a bloated film.
Mm-hmm. Aquaman was funny because it was like I liked it, but like I think the character Aquaman was my least favorite part of the movie. I was just like, "Oh, Mira's awesome," and this is
Nicole
awesome.
Kidman was fantastic.
Yes,
she was so good. And then, God, I can't remember his name, but he's like, he played Night Owl in Watchmen.
The guy who played, Ocean Master. Yeah,
he was really awesome. I'm like, gosh, that's so cool. You get to play so many different heroes.
But I was like, it's just so weird that like the title character was like the one I liked the least.
Yeah, I just get that kind of like frat boy vibe from him. Like he's kind of like their Thor, I guess.
Yeah, but they kind of steer too much into that skit of, just like, oh, he's the surfer guy, biker guy,
Yeah, like his outfit when like in one of the first scenes, I remember he's wearing like leather pants and like a leather vest. I was like, damn. Like back to his Conan days.
Oh, another Game of Thrones reference.
Oh, yeah. I always forget because he doesn't really talk all that much, like as Khal Drogo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stoked about Game of Thrones too, obviously. I'm scared too. Like my husband and I are like writing down like who we think is gonna die and like who we think will survive and stuff. And I'm just so scared. It can happen at any time.
Yeah, I've watched the first season, but I'm like I've watched it, but I'm nowhere near caught up to like, so I'm not. But I'm like that with Walking Dead. I'm just like, oh, who's gonna die?
I heard about that crazy episode they had like a couple weeks ago with like the kids and stuff. Oh,
like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was like from the comics where like a bunch of them got their heads cut off and put on spikes.
It broke Twitter. Like my whole feed was just talking about Walking Dead, and I was like, I haven't seen Walking Dead trending in like a while. Like, good for you guys.
All you do is kill a bunch of people.
I'm obviously like it's weird like without Rick. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, this whole season was really weird because he was in like the first 5 or 6 episodes, and then they kind of took him out. He didn't die, but everyone thinks he's dead. But then they took they did a 6-year time jump between like episodes. So yeah.
Oh, that's so confusing because you're like, he might come back, maybe. Like, we'll be waiting for you.
I think they said he's not. Supposedly he's not, but they're doing they're going to do 2 or 3 movies with him or something.
I could see him wanting to do that. It's just funny because he kind of came from like a period film background. Like I remember seeing him for the first time in a British BBC TV version of Wuthering Heights. And it was so strange to see him with an American accent because he's so British. And then he goes into like the choral.
That is the best. But I think that's part of the reason I think that's why he left the show, because I think he was just tired of being so far away from home because they film in Georgia. So
yeah, it's like I'm sure it's hot and miserable there, and totally the opposite of like the UK, like where it's rainy and like a little chilly.
Oh yeah, they said the summers are hot, and then they finally did they had a winter scene in the season finale. That's the first time they've shown snow on the show. And they're like, yeah, meanwhile, it was like the hottest November they had down there so far.
They just have a snow machine going.
They must have.
Yeah, my uncle, he's a set painter. And so he works all the time out in Georgia because they film so much in Atlanta now.
Oh yeah. Cause I think like money wise, it's a lot better to film down there than like LA or whatever. Yeah,
because the tax here is crazy high for filming.
Oh yeah, so that's why people either go to Atlanta or Canada, Vancouver, Toronto. Yeah.
We should make it friendlier to film here because it's kind of like we're gonna lose like our whole like Hollywood like shine. It's not gonna be that thing anymore. Yeah,
that's like the big thing in town out there.
Right? And then you actually go to Hollywood Boulevard and you're like, ooh. It's Hollywood Boulevard is like kind of dirty, except when they clean it up for like a movie premiere or something. It's like it's a little dirty.
But yeah, you were talking about Walking Dead breaking the internet. The Avengers Endgame tickets went on sale the other day, and they said I think the Fandango and a bunch of sites all went down.
Crash Fandango, Crash Regal. John was able to get tickets after an hour in the waiting room, and then I was like, he's like, is 11:15 okay? And I was like, yeah, that sounds fine, unless you want to do the next day. And he's like, I already bought the tickets, like I can't go back now.
Yeah, I know. I'm lucky. I guess I don't know if it's a like small enough town around here. We usually don't sell out, and it's like one of those 20 screen theaters. So it's usually, I'm sure that's going to be playing at least once an hour. So,
oh yeah, probably all the way through the night. I have a friend who works in a movie theater, and he's like, "This is the first time we're going to be open for almost 24 hours. We're going to close for an hour before the first 7 a.m. showing the next day."
Yeah, it's nuts, but. I mean, like they said it broke pre-sale records. I think that Infinity War set the previous record, and then this broke that record. Well, I said I'm like, who saw the first one and is like, no, I don't have to see the second one. No.
Yeah, right. Because we left on a little bit of a cliffhanger there.
Little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and people have invested so much into this. It's been 10 years.
Oh yeah.
So it's almost like, you know, when Harry Potter was ending, or, you know, when the third of Star Wars episodes 1 through 3 was coming out, like it's a culmination in so much effort and energy and like love that people have for their fandom, that you're not going to miss out on that, especially being a part of the group and being a part of something, because that's an amazing feeling, is when you're experiencing it with people who care about it as much as you do. Oh
yeah, I love it. Don't kill Tony Stark.
I think he's just going to lose his hand.
Oh, really?
They just have been referencing his hand for so long. And then like with Thanos and like his whole hand thing, like I feel like Tony's somehow going to wield the gauntlet and end up losing his arm or something.
I don't want anyone to die, because everyone's like Captain America's like, no.
I'm hoping that Cap will just go back and like they'll send him back in time so he can be with Peggy again.
Oh yeah, because I think she mentioned about being married, but I don't think they ever showed the husband. So that could. Well,
if they go way back, then that can happen, and then he'll never make out with her great niece or whatever. That was so bad. Bad Captain America. That was very inappropriate.
Well, that's from the comics, because like he got frozen in the 40s, and then when they originally brought him out, it was the 60s, and at that point it was like she was her sister, which I don't know if that's worse or.
But still, like, he's way too old. He should have been like, this is inappropriate. I'm like 80 years old. Like,
well, if he goes age appropriate, I mean, he's trolling nursing homes.
That's why he should be with Peggy. I would not accept any other ship.
I know, but supposedly she died in the movies, but we never see the body, so.
There you go. Then that's what you know. There wasn't a body. There wasn't a shot of their dead body on the ground. Therefore.
No, I said they're going to surprise everyone. It's going to be Thor.
Oh no, I want him to do another movie with Taika.
Well, like I said, they can kill him off, but it's easier to resurrect the god than the rest of them.
Watch him die and Loki survive. Because Loki's not dead. I don't think he's dead.
Well, I think it's supposed to be flashbacks, but did you see when Disney puts out their streaming service, they're going to have a Loki TV show?
Yeah, I did see that. I'm really excited about that, too. Like, I'll watch Tom Hiddleston do whatever. I'd watch him eat a sandwich. I'm stoked about that. And, I mean, I was hoping for, like, Black Widow, like, a few years ago. Now I heard that they're finally getting the ball rolling, but I just feel like this should have happened like back in 2013, like when Widow was more of a mystery to us. Now she's been pretty well explored in most of the films. So I don't know what we'll get. We'll probably get flashbacks or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like for some reason some executives somewhere thought a girl movie wasn't going to sell, but then they saw how well Wonder Woman did, and now Captain Marvel just cracked $1 billion. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's so funny, because all the people were like, it's not going to do well. And it's like, wait, why? Like, why do you care so much about a movie doing badly?
It's like people either want to call it, or they love it so much they just don't want to admit it. But like I said, you don't have to worry about the MCU. Even like their like their Thor 2s, still
Yo, yeah, exactly.
They still make money.
Yeah, I think Ant-Man and the Wasp like underperformed from what they said that it was going to, but I loved it. I thought it was so good.
I loved it. Yeah, it's that heist film. Oh yeah, that's what my one co-host was saying. He wants what's his face, his buddy, who does the recaps, to do a recap at the beginning of Endgame. Just like he's like, you should just recap the last 10 years.
Okay, so this is guy Thanos, right?
And these guys came, and Iron Man and this wizard guy were fighting them, and then the Spider Kid showed up.
It is truth serum.
Yes,
he's amazing. I love Michael Pena.
Yeah, they should just let him recap every last 22 movies. So starts off, man. Tony Stark's in this cave, man.
I would watch that. I would watch like an hour's worth of that.
Just give him. I swear he could do it in like 10 or 15 minutes. But just
that would be fantastic. Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm not watching any trailers because I want to be surprised. Like ever since they brought out that entire Hulkbuster scene, like they showed the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't really like. I want to be surprised. I want to be like awed in the theater and be like, wow, that special effect was so cool or whatever. And I feel like sometimes they do give a little bit too much away in the trailer.
Well, I heard theories that like it looks like from all the trailers for Endgame, it looks like they're only showing like the first 20 or 30 minutes. You know, what's in the first 20 or 30 minutes, and it's a 3-hour movie, so.
Yeah, and they also sometimes shoot stuff that's like kind of fake, like to throw you off. Like, remember for the first Infinity War, they had that scene where they're all like running in slow-mo through Wakanda. That wasn't in it.
And the Hulk was there, and the Hulk wasn't in that scene, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, there was a scene in one of these trailers where like they all come out, and there's like a big space between I forget which two it was, and they were like, "Oh, did they digitally erase somebody?"
Exactly. They pull a fast one on us. And so, like, I can't even trust the trailers anyway. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to not watch them. So, like, whenever they've been playing in the theater, I just, like, leave the theater for a couple minutes and wait for it to be over.
And then, everyone I talked to is theorizing. They're like, oh, are we going to get now that we can finally do it, are we going to get an end credit scene that has something to do with the X-Men or the Fantastic Four?
That would be cool.
I said, I don't think they've cast anyone yet, but I said they could just throw up something, a building that has a big 4 on it or something with an X on it.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody was saying that they have somebody had a script for Doom. I can't remember if it's Kevin Feige or if it's Joss Whedon, but somebody has like this Doom script that they really want to make happen. And I'm like, I would absolutely be interested in that. Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a little too soon to reboot Fantastic Four, but give it a couple years, like they could easily pull something.
Yeah. Well, this will be the first time Marvel's like in full control of it. So.
Full control of all of its assets and everything is back under one roof.
Mostly, yeah, but I think Sony still has like a partnership with them on Spider-Man. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're not going to let Spider-Man.
No, never.
They're like, that makes too much money. Even the bad ones make too much money.
Right? Spider-Man will always be popular because I think like people really relate to like him being like a teenager and navigating all of the issues like with just being like a young person, and then also all the responsibility that he has to take on top of that, and like it's really admirable. So like I don't know, Spider-Man's really likable. He's
like he's the one who's the most normal.
Yeah, he is sometimes a photographer, sometimes delivery guy. Like he just has like normal jobs, and like he still does the superhero thing, which is crazy.
And people respond to humor. I mean, him, and then don't get me started on Deadpool.
They can make as many Deadpool movies as they want with Ryan Reynolds.
That's what I said. I think the rest of like those X-Men characters are getting like they'll probably get recast, but Deadpool's probably going to stay Ryan Reynolds.
He should. I like that they actually referenced like the whole Baraka Pool situation. from Wolverine in the last Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Or the Green Lantern thing. You're welcome, Canada.
Yeah. Totally CGI outfit.
Yeah, they're gonna bring him in.
And I love Miranda Baccarin, like, even though she wasn't in it, like, too much, like, I really like her. I think she's done some stuff for Gotham.
Yes.
And then she was also just in a series of Unfortunate Events. And then she did Firefly, so she's just, like, nerd queen.
Oh, yeah. Kind of popular.
I heard rumors, though, that Rachel Weisz is going to have some kind of role in Black Widow.
Yeah, I think they announced that today, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just love her, like, back from the Mummy days.
I just wonder if it's going to be a flashback or if they're going to do, like, a present-day thing.
I don't know. They could go either way, really.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it would be funny if it was, like, a buddy movie, like, with her and Hawkeye, and, like, we find out what happened in Budapest.
Oh, yes! And if they go, like, with the comics, like, she had, like, when she was being trained by the Russians, she had history with Bucky, the Winter Soldier. So
yeah, exactly. Him, and like she even had a history with like Daredevil, so I was like hoping that maybe like she would be kind of thrown into the show a little bit, but that never happened. So even just like a couple episode like arc would have been so cool.
Yeah, for some reason they were supposedly in the same universe, but they didn't like mix those movies and TV that much.
I think it was probably a salary issue.
Oh, probably. Contracts.
Yeah, and like people who do like a lot of films and stuff, I'm sure they feel like it's like a little bit of a step back to be on TV, but I don't know. I think we're living in the golden age of television right now.
Plus, I think scheduling too, and
yeah, as we saw with Jamie Alexander, Lady Sif, that was so upsetting that she, you know, couldn't get time away, like because I guess they didn't ask her soon enough for Ragnarok to where she could make the scheduling work.
Well. Maybe it's better she wasn't on that ship when Thanos showed up.
Right? Though Valkyrie survived. So what I like, because with the posters, so I'm thinking that maybe like he saw the ship approaching and he sent her with like some survivors or whatever.
Yeah.
That's my guess. But I mean, at least Lady Sif didn't get slaughtered by Hela. So that's a plus.
Yes.
She could potentially be alive.
I think a lot of these people are coming back.
Yeah. Just like, and then, the guy with Doctor Strange, I'm like blanking on his name right now. Wong.
Oh, Wong, yeah.
Yeah, he's around still, so that's a huge plus.
Okay, Rocket's still alive.
Oh yeah. Oh, poor thing. He lost everybody.
Yeah.
Oh. Poor little squishy raccoon. He's so soft on the inside.
Or Thor called him Rabbit.
This rabbit.
It's like, what's a rabbit?
I'm a raboon.
Wait, I'm gonna be invisible. Can't see me.
He was honestly like, I feel like he took some acting classes or something because like his comedic timing from Guardians 1 to Guardians 2 so much improved. Like he was fantastic.
Must have maybe just the practice, the repetition. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think they're also like letting them do a little bit more like freestyle, like with the script and stuff, because they realized that like a lot of them like have really good comedic timing. Like a lot of Ragnarok felt like ad lib, which was awesome.
Oh yeah. All right, you want to field some questions?
Sure.
All right. Here, let me throw some at you, and then you can pick some out that you got. All right. Lawrence Ahmed emailed, wants to know, do you have any advice for any beginning cosplayers about handling haters or trolls who want to pull you down?
I think that that's definitely something hard to navigate, especially when you feel like maybe they're bringing something to your attention that you already know about yourself. And, hearing that from somebody else is kind of hard. So I think that like just having that confidence in yourself to know that like, even if somebody says that thing, like what matters is how you take it, how you take those words. Are you going to let them break you down, or are you going to learn from it and become a stronger person? Because I mean, back when I first started, like every little comment was just like so painful. Like I would be crying or whatever if someone called me ugly or fat or whatever. And then I started realizing like, hey, you know what? It's probably better to be ugly and fat or whatever in quotes than it is to be mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just having like that, and then realizing too that a lot of the people who say those mean things, like they're missing something in their own life. So they feel the need to tear other people down to try to bring them down to their level. So it's not really about you. It's about them and what they're missing in their lives. So just remembering that is good. And then also the ban hammer, swing that ban hammer. Because you get to choose how you're talked to on your social media. Like, you don't have to put up with that crap. There's nobody that says that you have to. And I mean, people get mad at me all the time, like, oh, she banned me because I said something negative. And I'm like, yes, I did. I will not be spoken to that way in my house. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, there's just a lot of ways to deal with it. And just having that confidence in yourself and like what you're doing is a big part of it, because they're looking for a reaction and they're looking to try to hurt you and, you know, sticks and stones. So.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's just like, I don't know, something wrong in their lives and they lash out at everyone else.
Yeah, they're trying to get it makes them feel superior for a second.
But they're not.
Right? Because they wouldn't have to go around and be mean if their life is so awesome. Like, I've never seen a hater doing better than me, basically.
No, you never really see a successful hater.
Because there's no reason to.
No. All right, let's get a little more positive. Michael Mendez got a hold of us on Twitter and wanted to know, what were the first do's and don'ts you learned about cosplaying when you started out?
I think that you kind of have to define that for yourself, because there is no real like cosplay rule book. I mean, there's obviously like polite things to do and things like that, like asking before you take a photo of someone and all that fun stuff. But I think you kind of get to decide what it means for you. If cosplay as being as accurate as possible is your thing, then that's your rule book. Or if cosplaying to have fun is your thing, then that's your rule book. So you kind of get to define those things for yourself. So I don't really have like a specific answer for that. Mostly just honor your commitments and realize that everyone, you know, is spending time, like photographers who are at, if you say you're going to meet up with a photographer, go meet up with them. Like, because that's something that I did when I started out, was I would cancel a lot on people. And even though it was for my anxiety and stuff, it's still like, looking back on that feels so wrong, because like people would, you know, volunteer their time and their energy and stuff, and like, you know, canceling on them isn't so good. So that's like one of the big don'ts, I would say. And just be nice to everybody. That's like a big plus.
Excellent. And then Ray, my buddy from he has his own podcast, Into the Night, all about Moon Knight. He's from Australia, so we're reaching all the way around the world.
Cool.
I said, hi. With your cosplay being rich and varied, have you ever done or considered doing a cosplay based on any Valiant Universe character? I'm not familiar with the Valiant Universe comics.
Neither am I, honestly. Like, other than knowing like what Moon Knight looks like at a convention, I don't know that I could tell you much about his character.
Well, Moon Knight's Marvel, but I know a little bit about Moon Knight, but yeah, But the Valiant stuff, yeah, I know nothing about Valiant.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't answer that question better, but...
But he did, yeah, but he did ask you about one character from Moon Knight. I'm going to pull up a picture here. I think I can show you this. Stained Glass Scarlet, he wanted to know about. It's kind of like a plain cosplay, but... Oh, I'm going to copy that.
I just like mostly try to cosplay from stuff that I'm familiar with and that I like really connect to, because it's really hard to want to like spend the time and the energy and the money on, you know, someone that you feel like meh about. So you have to have a connection. You never see just like an outfit, you know, like a character, and you're like, I don't really know them, but you know, I like the look of the costume. Or no, I haven't done that yet. I mean, I feel like you're totally allowed to do that. It's just for me personally, like I want to get a feel for their personality and for their story arc and everything, just so that I can, you know, better emulate them in like photos and everything. But that's totally valid. If you see a costume that you like and you're like, I want to make that, like, more power to you.
Mm-hmm. There, I don't know if you could see that, but that's what I'm talking about.
Redhead. I feel like people might mistake me for Alexandria with a crossbow, though.
But yeah, it is just kind of, I mean, it's the red, but it is kind of like plain. It's just like a plain, it's almost like a monk's robe.
Yeah. No, she's beautiful. I mean, redheads all the way.
But no, I think my favorite of yours is your Jean Grey.
The, like the all red from The Last Stand.
That one's good too, but I like the green one. Like her comic book one, yeah.
Marvel Girl.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people were like, oh, you should like cosplay from X-Men or whatever, or oh, you look like Rogue because of the yellow and the green. And I'm like, close, I guess. You're in the right universe there, I guess.
Read a comic book.
But she's pretty old school, so I totally understand like people not recognizing her. But I mean, even the suit, like it's the same colors and you know.
But yeah, no, I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, I get a lot of like mistaken cosplays. It's funny, like I'll wear a certain one and people will be like, are you dressed like this person? I'm like, no, but good guess. I get that a lot in my Amber Sweet costume from Repo, the Genetic Opera. Everyone thought I was cosplaying Xena, but now that I'm cosplaying Xena, like they're like, oh, Xena, that's perfect. Cause it was like almost like a black version of that with like the corset and it had like a skirt and stuff. And I could definitely see like the confusion.
In a roundabout way, it's almost a compliment because if they're not familiar with the genre you're cosplaying, they just like, they're like, ooh, I like this thing. And that must be that thing I like.
Yeah, I mean, like, people would do that, too, for my Dawn cosplay. They would think that I was doing Black Queen Jean Grey, which I totally see, too, like, because the black corset and, like, the red hair and the cloak and everything, so I totally understand why they would think that.
All right, so you said you got some questions, so
yeah,
there's some out there.
Yeah, I have a few. Let's see. What's the most stressful event you've dealt with this year? This year is like pretty early. We're still pretty early this year, I guess. I just think like probably the most stressful thing was like realizing that I needed to change my life and like getting all my stuff together and a lot of people have seen my struggle and stuff on Twitter and Instagram and everything. So I'm pretty open with like mental health and everything. So I think that, just getting everything together and making sure that I have a routine and like honoring my commitments more and stuff. Cause that was something that was really hard for me in the last few years. And so that's probably the most stressful thing I've dealt with is just, getting my life together.
are the big, I mean, sometimes I think I feel like a little anxiety at certain things. I would think like the big conventions, are those like kind of intimidating?
They used to be, definitely. It would be scary for me to go alone and stuff, like especially after like hearing about like a lot of like the mass shootings and things like that. That would scare me, and like just hearing how far people would get, like with that guy, the Phoenix Comic-Con guy who came there with like a bunch of weapons and stuff, and the police like took him down. So just like hearing about events like that, it made me like kind of scared to go to big events. And then I had like a couple situations where people were like threatening me online. So that kind of was scary too. So just realizing that like I can't let the words of others like control me and stuff and like control where I go and what I do, because then they win.
Some people are just crazy. I don't see how people would be threatening you. It's just like...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some people like aren't okay with like what I do. Like I do the sexy stuff as well as the cosplay stuff. And for some people that's me ruining cosplay. But I mean, again, like I don't think there's any right way or wrong way to cosplay.
No, it's like you do you, I'll do me.
Yeah. And the sexy stuff pays for the cosplays. So
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot to deal with for a long time, but I feel like a lot of it's died down. Maybe I've just banned and blocked all of the bad people.
They learned their lesson.
Let's see. I'm trying to see. Some of them like weren't super relevant. Thoughts on the Joker trailer? I haven't watched it yet, but I love Joaquin Phoenix and pretty much anything he does. Like, I think he'll do a fantastic job. I do think it's a little early for another Joker incarnation.
Yeah, but I don't know if they want to get past that last Joker incarnation as quick as possible.
Well, I think he would have been great, but they didn't really allow him to shine with all the stuff they cut from the movie. It was just very jumbled.
Just the look, I don't know if it was completely right for that character, and I think they did Suicide Squad movie way too early. I think that should have come after Justice League.
Yeah, probably. I just think that they were trying to kind of get their own Guardians of the Galaxy going, ragtag team of ex-bad guys kind of deal. But yeah, I think Joaquin Phoenix will do a great job, but I wish the DC would recognize that there's a lot of other properties under their umbrella besides Batman and Batman Universe. Like, I mean, he's always been very popular and stuff, and, you know, they've taken Superman as far as he can go, but I just think that there's a lot of room for other things. Like, a Teen Titans film would have been awesome.
Yes. Well, they have the TV show, you know, on DC Universe, and I think they're getting that hint in the movies, because after Wonder Woman and Aquaman did so well, and I think Shazam is like their way of kind of like, they've been known for going dark, so I think Shazam, they're going to go the complete opposite direction. Yeah,
and we'll see if they keep Tim Gunn? I can't remember. James Gunn. I'm thinking of his brother. He's on Gilmore Girls that I'm watching. We'll see if he sticks with the next Suicide Squad movie or not.
Supposedly he's directing Suicide Squad 2 and then going back over to the other side and doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So
we'll see if Disney allows that.
Supposedly, as of right now, supposedly they are.
I bet they could offer him some incentive to not take both.
Oh, I'm sure they could.
Right, yeah, Disney's busy with all the Star Wars Land stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're a big Star Wars fan also.
Yeah, and Disney, so it's like perfect melding of my two loves.
Are you going to be there first day when it's all done and open now?
No, I don't think I could even they're having a ticketing system. So it's like a lottery, like you sign up and then they'll be like, okay, this is the day that you're coming and here's your appointment time or whatever. And they're going to have, you know, a staggered release of people because they can only have a certain number of people inside the land at one time to avoid like a potentially dangerous situation. So I'm pretty much planning on not going to Disney this whole summer because it's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah, because I'm sure people from all over the world will be coming for Star Wars.
Yeah, and just, I don't know that there's really an off-season anymore. I mean, obviously, this isn't the off-season, it's summer and stuff, but Disney has just been more packed in the last couple years than I've ever seen it. And Disneyland is one of the smaller of the parks in the world. I mean, it's old. It was born in 1955, so it's got very narrow walkways and lots of bottlenecks and stuff that they would never let happen in a newer park. So there's just a lot of issues to be worked out with crowd control. And they recently just announced that they're not going to allow strollers above a certain size anymore because it's been getting so crazy with the strollers.
Oh, yeah, they make huge strollers now. I remember when my son was younger, it's like these people, they'll have like...
Yeah, now I see what I've been seeing lately is these Oregon Trail style wagons. Like, you know how the photographers load up those wagons to bring to conventions? People are putting their kids in those now. And I'm like, what? What are you doing? They're insane. And if you've had one run over your foot, like, it's a singular pain.
Or just like bump into you, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times people will just stop in the middle of the walkway and create like a big traffic jam, and it's a little crazy. So Disney's changing a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, they were popular before, but then in the last couple of years, after buying Marvel and Star Wars, now it's just
their net worth is insane.
Oh no, I mean, they paid billions for like Star Wars and Marvel, and they said they made their money back.
That's chump change, pretty much.
Well, you figure a couple of these Marvel movies that made $1 billion, just by themselves.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a good buy for sure. I mean, because before they just had a partnership with Star Wars, and then they purchased that. And I mean, I think everyone knew that they were going to take it further than just Episode 3.
And it's even better now because now that they bought that Fox stuff, I think they didn't have like the original trilogy, but now like they have like I think all the rights to that original trilogy back now too.
Oh, that's really cool. So they don't have to ask permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool though. Like I've seen like a lot of the concept art and everything, and they've started doing on Star Tours where you like land like at that spaceport so it's kind of like a little 3D preview. And then I've heard that the Millennium Falcon ride is going to be crazy. Like each person is given a position on the ride, and your performance affects the progression of the ride, which is really cool. The thing that I guess that they've run into is like they're trying to figure out how to make it good for all skill levels, but also like easy for people, not too hard, not too easy. And for people who can't speak the language, maybe like they would be able to figure it out. I feel like if you could choose like a level, like from your little pod, like we want to do easy mode or we want to do hard mode or whatever, like that might be kind of cool.
The next thing when adults like yelling at little kids, why did you shoot down that TIE fighter? Right,
exactly. Exactly. I feel like you should definitely like do it to your least skilled member of your crew. Yeah. But yeah, the wait times are going to be crazy. I mean, the lines went around the park when Indiana Jones ride opened. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like now.
Going to be miles down the road.
Oh yeah, it'll be all the way to Main Street. And I mean, the other thing is like DCA, California Adventure, the park across, it's going to be crowded with overflow and stuff. So there will be no safe haven. But it's going to be awesome. So I expect to see it like maybe like next September or something.
Maybe, yes.
Yeah.
All right. You got any other good questions?
I love you with all my heart. Aw. Do you like Mortal Kombat? Any character you would cosplay from it? I think we all like Mortal Kombat. I mean, it's a classic button masher. Yeah, I mean, like, it would be really fun if I got in like super good shape to like do like Melina or something. That would be fun. Do you do video game cosplays? I want to do more video game cosplays. I feel like I gravitate more towards like film and TV cosplays, and I definitely want to expand that a little bit. I've got a lot of people are asking me to do more comic book stuff, more video game stuff, so that's definitely on the way. Probably Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm going to finish up my Elizabeth from BioShock Burial at Sea. Comic book wise, like I definitely want to do Black Cat. I don't know. There's just so many that I want to do. Like I would love to do Hella. Like
oh, nice.
So many that I would want to do. Honestly, my list grows all the time. Mystique, comic book Mystique would be great.
Any thoughts on like a Captain Marvel?
Probably not. I might do like Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel would be cool, like the black suit and stuff. Just because I've seen like so many really good Captain Marvels. Like, I don't know if you guys follow Jedi Manda. Hers is fantastic. Like her helmet lights up, and so does her little mohawk. Like it's super cool. She did an amazing job. Yeah, there's just a lot of really good ones out there.
Oh yeah, you have a Black Widow one too, right?
Yeah, that one's just kind of like the cheapy, like Halloween one that I like altered and stuff because my friend was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the Ant-Man and the Wasp premiere?" And I was like, "Yeah, let me get a costume together in a week."
Yeah,
worth it.
That was your look. I think you could probably do a good Scarlet Witch too.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Plus, hers is kind of like just regular clothes.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, you just have like what the color scheme and stuff.
Yeah, she's got like the coat and the corset and stuff. I mean, I like the comic book version of Wanda a little bit more though. The cape
with the headband and everything.
Oh yeah, the diadem.
Yes.
Maybe I can get John to be my Vision.
Oh, there you go.
Classic.
Gonna paint his face.
Yeah, that would be funny. Maybe if he'll. I don't know if he'll ever shave though. He just loves his beard too much.
Just do what Cesar Romero did on that old 60s Batman show. Just paint over it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Nobody will notice.
Oh.
Yeah, he's had the beard for a few years now, and it was funny because he was wearing it with his Captain America like before bearded Cap was even a thing, and people would be like, what's with your beard, man? Like, what? Cap doesn't have a beard, and like now he's like, ha.
Yeah, but I think he's shaving for Endgame.
I know, that's what he was saying. John was like, he's gonna go back to the spangly uniform, but his beard is gonna be shaved. I was like, yeah, because he was like hardened Cap. Like, I don't need to shave. I'm on the run. Like,
yeah.
Like, even Widow's hair is growing out, like, because she dyed it blonde. I think as a nod to Yelena Belova.
Yeah.
The other Black Widow. I'm sure that she was, undercover as Yelena. And then now it's grown out. And so you see, like, the red out the top and then the blonde ombre at the bottom.
But yeah, he might have switched to Tony Stark.
Yeah, exactly. He's done Thor a few times. He did Ragnarok Thor.
Cool.
Yeah.
So any other questions?
I think that's pretty much it. Where are all the Sour Patch parents?
What?
Because they're Sour Patch Kids. Where are all the Sour Patch parents? I don't know if I could answer that. Who knows? Who watches The Watchmen? Was there a specific event that caused you to want to start cosplaying or modeling? For me, it was
the Rose Bowl.
For me, it was Harry Potter. Like, Harry Potter is like pretty much the dawn of my cosplay stuff because I was just graduated from high school and like so I was like 18 and we were going to go see Harry Potter. And so we all went to the thrift store and came up with outfits, and I was Bellatrix Lestrange. And while we were there, like, a group of people were like, hey, do you guys cosplay? Like, are you going to WonderCon? And I'm like, what is this? Tell me now. Like, I need to know what this is. And so they explained it to me, and I went online and bought tickets for WonderCon the next day because I was like, I have to be there. And I spent the next few months like working on my cosplays and everything, and went to WonderCon in 2012, and that's it. That's history.
It's great to find a community because I remember, like, through my whole childhood, I read comic books and seemed like none of my friends really read anything. And then once I found people who, shared my hobbies and stuff, I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, actually,
exactly.
Who do this?
You guys exist. I don't have to be the weird one anymore. Are you serious?
Exactly. I remember having, back in the day, I had to like hide my comic books. Now, you have all these movies and people are like, oh yeah, you know about all this Avengers. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was a big reader, like growing up, like just, I would devour Harry Potter books, like, Artemis Fowl, like Series of Unfortunate Events, just like everything. And I loved Sailor Moon growing up. My grandma would record it on Toonami for me. She would have it on a tape, and then once a week she would give me the tape so I could watch like the last week's Sailor Moon episodes. And then my dad would like walk me around the corner to like the corner comic book store, and I could always pick something out growing up. And I actually did go to a convention prior to WonderCon, but I don't really count it because I didn't like cosplay or anything, but got to meet Xena Warrior Princess. There was a cosplayer there dressed as Xena. And I mean, cosplay in the 90s, like, was so different than it is now. And for someone to have a really legit Xena costume, like, they must have worked really hard on it. So I remember meeting a Xena cosplayer and stuff. And I've always just been really interested in, like, that idea of, like, making your own stuff. So there's been, like, little sprinklings of cosplay throughout my life.
It's just certain events.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, my mom always like she would make my Halloween costumes and I would help her out and stuff. So I had like a base knowledge of sewing and stuff when I went into this, and I just kind of supplemented the knowledge with YouTube videos and stuff.
You're like a superhero. You're like Peter Parker sitting in his bedroom making his first costume.
I refuse to believe that they got the neoprene webbing and everything. Like, that is so crazy.
I know, like that. Yeah, like that. Yeah, those movie costumes. I'm like, that looks a little too good.
Like, come on, bro. There's like a secret Edna Mode, just like making all these costumes for people.
Oh yeah, there's somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of. I guess my dad like kind of introduced me to all that stuff, like watching Xena and everything growing up, Sailor Moon, Saturday morning cartoons, Batman Beyond.
Oh yes. Batman the animated series, I remember that. That was the greatest.
Justice League, like all those angular like drawings and stuff. That was so nice. Just everything. Yu-Gi-Oh! Cardcaptor Sakura. But yeah, I think that's it for questions on my end. Okay.
That was all my questions. So I will contact these people. We'll send out some prints.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's everything I had. Again, thank you for making time for me.
Yeah, of course. It was really nice talking with you.
Oh yeah. It's a you all the geeks unite. I mean, it's.
I know, right? And like, it's so cool to have that feeling of like camaraderie and just like everybody like doing stuff together and having the same experiences. Like, it's a nice feeling.
Yes. So, anyone else, contact me. I'd love to chat. But Miss Alexandria the Red, thank you, and tell people where they can find you online and any appearances, any cons you have coming up, or.
Yeah, I'm just Alexandria the Red on everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, and now I'm on TikTok. So
I don't think I even know that one.
It's kind of like a new version of Musical.ly or like Vine. Okay. Yeah, and it's really big for like effects and stuff. And I needed a new app to add music to like my videos and stuff. And I just discovered this whole TikTok subculture, which is crazy. There's like all these trends and like viral videos and stuff, and it's like Vine never died. But yeah, that's where you guys can find me. So
but I mean, yeah, people follow her. I mean, one good looking woman, she puts the hard work and dedication in there, everything she does. So
aw, thanks. I try.
And again, you know, if the rest of you cosplayers or creatives, email me, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. We'd love to talk to you. All right. So
awesome. Thank you so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it.
All right. So until next time, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good night.